I would next like to return the meeting back to Nora, who will introduce our guests to table topics, where you learn to speak on your feet, even if you don't know what the topic will be you will respond to. So please welcome back Nora, who will tell us about table topics.
Thank you so much again, Barry, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. This part of our meeting is the part that we call also the impromptu speaking part of the meeting. It is quite an interesting part of the meeting because nobody in this meeting knows the question that I'm going to ask. So it's not planned and it's not practiced. Nobody has prepared for this. And the other good benefit about table topics is that it really allows you to practice your listening skills. So I am going to say a question, and Dina, she is our timer. And as you can see, she has the lights there. So at 1 minute, she will turn her lights to green. And then at 1.5 minutes, she'll turn it to yellow. And then at 2 minutes, it'll be red. And the purpose of this, to show the light, thank you, perfect, is so that we can wrap things up and not, sometimes it's really important to get the point across in as little time as possible than to just talk and talk and talk and talk. Okay, so let's get started.
President and Toastmaster, I would like to say that there are many people who inspire me, and there are many people who inspire all of you. Some of them are famous, some of them not so much. But today I will focus on one person very near and dear to me, my son. My son is 9 years old. And one of the things that inspires me the most about my son is his curiosity for learning new things. He loves developing games. He loves singing songs. He loves playing music. And I have to admit, I personally have never had a talent for music. Oh, I did sing in the church choir. I'm not going to lie about that. But was I opera level? No, not at all. I did great with the crowd. I did great in the choir. But if I had a solo, I'd get kind of nervous. But my son, he doesn't have that issue, does he? No. He comes up with sounds. He comes up with beatboxing, which many of you might remember from the 80s. He comes up with songs that he plays on the piano. And why does that inspire me? He's not limited to whatever it is that I was good at or wasn't good at. He's not limited by whatever he's learned from others. His only limit is not limiting himself and allowing himself to be curious. And I think that what inspires me about his curiosity is that as I see him and support him and offer him different instruments that he can use, like our keyboard or our darbuka, which is awesome, he uses these things as tools to continue to grow. And that's what inspires me. And it doesn't take a degree. It doesn't take a profession. It doesn't take years and years of a life experience to be good at something. It takes curiosity and it takes creativity. And that's why he's the person who inspires me. Thank you. Back to you, to Nora.
Thank you so much, Nancy. That was beautiful. Nancy and I are friends for many, many years, and we both know each other's children. And so that's beautiful what you just said. Alrighty, moving right along, I would like to ask for volunteers. See, it wasn't that bad. Nobody got zapped. If anybody would like to take the next question.
I can.
Okay, perfect. Allie, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it okay that I'm not on camera?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
That's you. Alrighty. So I have a question for you. It is, if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Oh, that's a really good question. One superpower. So this is kind of a strange answer. I think I would like to be invisible. You can't see me, but I'm kind of a big person. I'm not tall. I'm not excessively tall, but I'm a large woman. And sometimes like it's very easy for me to be noticed. I'm also really kind of like gregarious and I have a loud voice and I take up a lot of oxygen in the room, as what I'm told. But I really value the inner thoughts of others and like what people are thinking. And sometimes I think for me as a leader, I can fill up a room, but I don't always necessarily leave room for others to speak their truth or speak their opinion. And I'm working on that. You know, I like to leave things open for people, but I really value people and I would love to see who people are when they're alone. Not in a weird way, like not in the bathroom, but like in a, you know, how do you, when you're sitting alone in your office and you encounter a problem, I want to see how you handle it. Not when you're like performing for me because I happen to be your boss or your colleague or something. I want to see like how you process. And I think being invisible would be cool. And also I love people watching. So is that what you were looking, is that a good, this is my first time doing anything here. So
Yeah,
yay.
absolutely. You did a great job. Yay, Ali. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was great. I totally agree with you. I would choose that superpower also, because I also like to get to know people. I'm not so much an extrovert, but I'm also not an introvert, but I do like to get to know people. And this club has helped me so much to be able to communicate in a better way with everyone. So thank you so much. I think we do have time for another person. So if anybody else would like to, oh, Connor. Yes, Connor. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Checking that
Hello.
you can hear me.
Yes, perfect.
All right. Great. What's your question?
Okay, let's go. Let's see. The question is, would you ever go skydiving?
Oh, gosh, I hope so. In fact, I'm actually in the Army now. So I would love to go to airborne school and get paratrooper training. I'm currently training as a translator, and there is a need for them to be able to jump in, you know, to a foreign country along with, you know, special forces. So while I don't have any pretense of making it through special forces training, or even just tagging along with, you know, a civil affairs or a PSYOPs unit or, you know, regular airborne, you know, the 181st Airborne or something, if I could just get the training to tag along with them, it would be an incredible experience. And I'm working towards getting a packet ready. You know, the training can be pretty grueling, but it's not up there with what most people think of when they hear special forces. So I very much hope it is in my future. And I would also hope that I can stay in really good shape to do that. So keeping up my physical training, you know, good nutrition is also part of that preparation.
Great. That's great. Thank you so much. That is great. That's beautiful, beautiful story. Going back to the skydiving, I would not. My sister did that when she turned 50, and I admired her for that. She said, I'm going to do this, and I don't want you to change my mind. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it. And she did it, and it was great. They took beautiful videos and beautiful pictures of her adventure, and I'm proud of her, but I wouldn't do it. All righty. So I think, Mr. Toastmaster, I think we should move on to the next section.
Nora, we actually have time for one more.
One more? Okay, perfect. Any other guests would like to volunteer? Okay, if you could go back in time, what would you tell your younger self?
Madam Tabletoping Master, fellow Toastmasters, most honored guests, what would I tell my younger self if I could do that. That's almost like the same kind of question as like, if you can go back into time and change one thing in your life, what would you do? It's almost similar to that kind of question. I would not interfere with my younger self. I think I would let my younger self do what she does. I found out that I was a very cautious child. I'm the eldest of a family. And you know what that means. That's you're the number one thing that your parents get to play with. They get to test. You're the test model. Because that later on, there are 3 other models that come later on. And they get really nice to them. Me, I get very strict. So it would be most likely that I would not go back and tell my younger self anything. But if I am required, like if they gave me $1 million and say, you got to tell your younger self to do something, I would then tell my younger self, okay, the thing that you want to do is just enjoy yourself. Because if you don't enjoy yourself, you would wind up just being very stressed out. And I found that I was always very cautious, but yet I would always figure out the risk. I was an early risk manager, I'm telling you, because I want to make sure that I would not fall and get in trouble. My siblings did, me, not as much. So that's probably what I would do. Enjoy yourself, but still watch out for the world. It's a mean place out there. Back to you, Madam Tabletopping Master.
Thank you so much, Janice. That was great. Thank you very much. All righty. This will conclude our table topics portion of the meeting, and I will bring the meeting back to Barry, our Toastmaster. Thank you, everyone.
So before
Thank you. Oh,
yeah, before we go to our Toastmaster, I do want to say that we have a poll. I'm going to launch it very soon. You have the opportunity to vote for who you think is the best table topic speaker. We have 4 speakers today. The first person is Nancy Ramirez, who inspired her. The second person is Allie Heatherly. What's her superpower, right? If she wanted to have one. The third person was Connor Clark. And the question was, would he go skydiving? And the fourth person was Janice Hom. And she, what would she tell her younger self if she can go back in time? I'm going to launch the poll now, so you can vote for speaker 1 to 4, which one